Monday, it's opening week. Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond podcast. We are here talking ball, talking the end of spring training and the beginning of the regular season. Busy week.
Busy week.
Busy week. Big day on Thursday. Big day on Wednesday for baseball. Ball's back.
Season's here. It's somehow through the darkness and cold of winter. Spring hopes eternal or something like that. And I'm excited. I'm pumped. Records are 0-0. I'm not stressed out. And a few roster spots are up for grabs still.
A few.
A few.
I mean, probably the most number of spots we've had up for grabs this late. I mean, last year there was like a spot or two. This year, I mean, there's a lot up in the air. I'm assuming Bryce is on the team. I'm assuming.
I don't know. I think it's either Bryce or Zach Cole.
Really? I mean, they sent down Trammell. They sent down a few guys that I wasn't expecting. Was yesterday's spring training game not available to listen to on the MLB app? I do not know. I was not paying attention yesterday. I took the day off from ball, having to pay attention to all this. Andrew, they'll settle the roster Wednesday night. I'm hoping it's earlier than Wednesday night. Last year it was like Wednesday morning, afternoon.
It'll probably go down to the last day.
Yeah.
But our prediction pod episodes always have gaps. So we're going to do it anyways because we have to get it out and edit it before Thursday, which is opening day. But Javier pitched this weekend.
Yeah.
His final stats for his Grapefruit League, this is from Brian McTaggart. 12 2/3, 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 1.69 ERA. Is it safe to say the success of this season lies within Christian Javier and Lance McCullers Jr.? If they stabilize the back end,
yeah,
like redundancy of getting lost in who's a 1 and who's a 5, right? Hunter Brown's your ace. Mike Burrows is your second starter. Imai is your third. And then you have Javi and Lance rounding out the 4-5. If they are collectively above average, this rotation is deep. It's
deep.
not sex in the years past, but it's a deep 1 through 5. Now it can go the other way. If it's a roller coaster, then you have a lot of backfilling and trying to plug those holes. But thinking in a glass half full, they're just average to above average. Money aside of what you're paying them. Money aside, that's already a wash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid 4-5.
I mean, if I told you going into spring training, we'd come out of spring training with basically all 6 of the 6-man rotation having incredible springs, you take that as a win, right? I mean, give or take how you feel about spring training stats specifically. I mean, every single Astros starter had a good spring. Lance, I feel like, was probably the worst of the bunch. He wasn't even that bad.
I don't think they're paying whatever they're paying Josh Miller is not enough.
No.
No. I hope every bonus he gets is just the best bonus that him and his family can go eat in River Oaks and buy property and land. Because what he does day in and day out and what he has done post Strom, obviously he worked with him, but to keep that going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's paid enough.
Let me run down the Astros starters and how they did this spring. Okay. Now the spring's over. Technically, Imai goes tonight, and it's part of whatever.
Spring's over.
They're back in Houston. Florida's gone. We've come home from Florida.
Has fallen.
Florida has fallen. Mike Bros led the team in innings pitched by far. They gave him a lot of run this spring.
Mm-hmm.
18 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, which all 3 of those were his last start, where he went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs. 18 innings, 3 earned runs, 1.5 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 17 Ks in 18 innings. So you take that. Hunter Brown, 12 and 2/3, 4 earned runs, 2.84 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 20 Ks in 12 and 2/3, or 12. Yeah. Christian Javier, 10 and 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 1.69 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. I don't know if that's updated from yesterday's start because I feel like he allowed. No, yeah, that's right. Ryan Weiss, 10 and a third, 4 earned runs, 3.48 ERA, 7 Ks in 10 innings. Lance McCullers, 8 innings, 3 earned runs, 1.25 WHIP, 5 Ks, 3.38. I mean, they all did solid.
Yeah.
My guy Tang, 10 and 2/3, 3 earned runs, 0.84 WHIP, 2.53 ERA, 7 Ks. The entire staff. I mean, there's not really one guy that you were looking at who you're already expecting to be on the roster that had a bad spring from the pitching staff. You could argue maybe Steven Okert was a little disappointing, but it's spring. That's the thing. You take it with a grain of salt either way. If they're incredible, you can't be. You got to be like it's spring. If they're bad, you got to be like it's spring. So, but it's all encouraging, very encouraging. You're absolutely right. Miller deserves. I mean, we already saw it. One of them already left. I wouldn't be surprised if Miller gets offers.
No, you just got to keep paying him.
Yeah, you have to keep raising his pay.
Jim says, I think Spencer, AJ, Weiss, or Tang can fill all the fourth or fifth spots if Christian or Norlands fall flat. Having Hunter Brown, Ime strong is effective and huge and allows this. John says, I don't think it's just Javier LMC. We know what we're getting from Brown, Burrows, and Ime is unknown for sure. Having 4 question marks in the rotation in theory is not great, but seeing what you did in spring, it feels like a lot of unknowns are now known. It feels like the floor of at least the pitching side has, on my end, has ticked up at least 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah.
Now, health, pedigree, production, all that goes into the season over 162. But I do like where they're at, and it does feel like in the pitching side, and I think last year too, we said on the show, like, it just felt like an outlier of a season with injuries. Like, hey, we have a house that's prepared for a Category 3 hurricane. Yes, we live in a hurricane zone. A hurricane Category 7 hit of injuries, and you just weren't
There's
prepared.
almost no way to
There's
prepare for how much injuries they had last
exactly.
year.
But this time around, when you rebuilt your house, it was like, okay, let's get up to a Category 5 hurricane protection of our house. And if we get wiped out again by a Category 7 hurricane, then maybe we should just move. And so
at that point, yeah,
I think they've done well on that front.
Maybe we should just move.
And so it is interesting. We haven't really heard of. Has anyone heard any of Nate Pearson? Nothing.
He was hurt.
He had an elbow, right?
Yeah, elbow. I think he's just been shut down.
Okay.
I think he's on the Dezenzo track of just where is he real?
Dezenzo's real. I mean, he was.
Well, now he is, but last year it felt like
with the injury.
Yeah, he got injured, and we never heard or saw from him again. He just spent all year in Florida or something.
And I also think the outfield conversations is like the only talking point going into the season. Obviously, the surplus in the infield's been kind of beaten down, but I think the fact that breaking camp potentially with, and I think it hinges on one question mark. Jake Myers is going to give you elite defense, and you know what the bat does. Simple as that. We're not reinventing the wheel there. Cam Smith in right field. I think I think he makes that jump, that leap. Uh, but it's still asking a lot. A clear unknown, a clear question mark.
I mean,
As
he he started
optimistic as I could be, it's still a question mark.
he started opening day last year, his rookie season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's done enough negatively to lose that spot.
No, not lose a spot, but just production. You
No.
need greater than the back half of a 520 OPS. You need a seven. I think you
I
need
agree.
750 to 775 OPS out of him, and you take that, and you were just ecstatic.
Absolutely, with the defense, yeah.
And then you can ride that wave of left field. That's kind of feels like a revolving door of what could be Luperfido. It could be Cole. It could be Bryce. Jordan when he's out there. You can roll with that question mark in an unknown. So going into the season, there's a lot of other question marks for other teams across the board, and it feels like going into this one, the Astros, we know who they are, and I think you could take that, and it's if you look at a glass half empty, you're like, this is not a playoff team. You glass half full, you're like, this is a playoff team. I think it's somewhere in between right now, which kind of is crazy because we're about to sweat over 162 games from this week all the way through October for essentially one more hot week than one more cold week.
I mean, they just need to win one more game than they did
Yeah.
last year. They missed the playoffs by one game, and which is something like you love and hate about baseball, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you love that it's such a grind, and that it can be a game of blowouts and it can be a game of inches at any point. Um, Ocean View Coffee Shop had a great comment, which is just also makes me laugh and cry. That all of this talk about the rotation, all of this talk about the outfield depth and whatever. Really, the main thing that matters is we need a full season from Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what happened. If you have a fully healthy Yordan Alvarez last year, you make the playoffs and you maybe can go on a run. But if
Nestor Cortez chirp, that's crazy.
we can't have Yordan going down again, which is where I get it, where the team is like not wanting to play him in left field. Like on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, he never got hurt playing left field. He wants to play left field. He's good. He's better hitting when he's playing left field. Put him out there. On the other hand, it's like we can't afford him to get hurt. We got to like minimize the time that he could possibly get hurt, because it's a huge blow. I mean, he's your leader as far as him and Hunter Brown are like on this caliber tier. Everybody else is below them. So you need those two to lead your team offensively and pitching.
Leaving Taylor Trammell off the roster is a choice. Do you know if you talked about that? He had an incredible spring. He should have earned a spot from at Blues. Yeah, I agree. I think Taylor should have broke camp. I think he earned that spot. But Jim also down below says Trammell just doesn't have the Joey, Zach, or Bryce's ceiling. And that's very fair. I also just to start the season, I'd rather have a higher floor.
He also might not have any options with whatever his deal is, and so they might be like,
he has 0 options.
let's start him in AAA, and then when we really need him, that's we call him up, and once you call him up, you can't.
Yeah, that's
you
tough.
gotta release him to.
I mean, but organizations are always going to take their higher ceiling prospect that they've spent a lot of money and prospect allocation for. So,
especially since you already started the clock, I believe, on Cole. You definitely started clock on Cam. You already started clock on Cole, so it's like we want to get.
Is Bryce considered a rookie? I don't know what the clock time in games is.
It's like 70 something at bats, I believe.
Dana's gambling on the young outfielders, 100%, 100%. I think it's a clear gamble of if he has a roster. I mean, if he has a contract next year, it's a very, very, very clear gamble.
It's 45 days on the major league roster, excluding September expansion. or exceeding 130 at bats or 50 innings pitched. So Bryce he got 42 at bats.
So he's under the
16
threshold.
games. He's probably he's probably
rookie,
still a
rookie
rookie.
status. Yeah, small beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, small one.
Oh, yeah?
The 999 challenge is coming to Dyken Park.
Oh yeah.
To the Mets, to the Phillies, to the Rockies, to the Astros, to the Royals, to the Giants. It's 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and 9 inning
I haven't
challenge
got a
in a
chance
little
to look
bucket.
at that. Is it partner with a specific brand of drink and hot dog or anything?
I don't know.
Or?
It isn't. It looks like an AI graphic. So, so if you're a degenerate out there that wants to try that, we tried it 3 years ago and I'm still hurting, so will not be participating. It's only going to cost you 9,999 Jim Crane bucks. So
Jim Crane bucks. Is he gonna start doing his own? I'm surprised none of the MLB teams tried to do something like that with NFTs and crypto. At its peak.
Yeah.
And then tried to do like stadium points, stadium reward program, like crypto type shit.
It's like Starbucks stars.
Yeah, like something where that way you have to come back to the stadium to spend your bucks, They should do it with El Tiempo Margs instead. If a human being had 9 El Tiempo Margs,
your problem.
They are dead.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's like I don't think
real,
that's
real
possible.
problem.
You have to be like 400 pounds and eat a lot of food to like soak up all that. I just don't think it's possible. Jordan, Oblens caught the Jordan MVP plus 3,500 slip.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a decent slip.
That's value.
That's value.
It's hard to get off the judge.
I mean, the same thing was you get with Cy Young and MVP. It's basically
every book is a coward. They won't give me Mike Burrow's odds.
It's Terry Skubal and it's Aaron Judge. Kyle Riley's not doing what he did last year.
It's a chalk.
So if either of those guys gets hurt, the field gets pretty open. If Aaron Judge is hurt, the field for AL MVP is wide open. You have probably Nick Kurtz. You have Jordan. You have
I think Kurtzy. I think Kurtzy could be a. The Astros moved up. Hold on. This is to win. Never mind. The Astros are plus 300 to reach the ALCS. It's not bad.
Plus 300?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good for us. That's not. I want to take that value. That's awful value because like I want to bet plus 300 on that. But
these are like all the exact.
But like that's pretty close odds. I don't know if you guys are into fantasy baseball. If you are, would you trade Logan Gilbert for Bryce Strang and Ozzie Albies? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am into fantasy baseball. I've actually been doing trades all past couple days. Logan Gilbert is an ace. Ozzie Albies is not good anymore. And Bryce Strang is good, but he's not worth that. To me, is basically Bryce Strang for Logan Gilbert, and no. Can't stay long, but hi, friends. What's up, Chad? What's up, Chads? I've been looking for Burrows. Yeah, Burrows isn't on there. Dez has been waiting for them to add.
I'm waiting for Burrows. Plus 800 for Tatsu Imai for Rookie of the Year.
I feel like that value's gone down.
Yeah, Patrick got him. Patrick has it at plus 1,200.
Damn. You can't talk AL MVP candidates without mentioning J-Ram and Bobby Witt. Absolutely. But that's like they're all still at a tier below Judge. And if Judge went down, it would open up to that tier to actually be a pretty fun race. We haven't had a good MVP race in a while.
Literally last year.
It was never close.
It was a split of like 2 votes. What are you talking? Suspended.
It was never close in my mind. I'm surprised it
went down to 2 votes.
I can't believe it was that close, but it shouldn't have been.
You can't sit here and be like, we haven't had a close MVP vote, and then it literally went down to
that was
2
not,
votes.
To me, that wasn't no, I didn't say we had a close vote. I said we had to have a good race.
60 tanks.
Like a 890 OPS.
60 tanks.
It's It wasn't close in
That's
my
crazy.
mind. So like that wasn't a fun race of like two guys that are actually killing it.
That's insane. You can get a ton of value at Juan Soto plus 900 to win MVP because Shohei Ohtani is minus 145. They should just make
Minus
it
145?
Yeah.
That's easy money. I feel like.
Shohei is legitimately, and I don't know why we had this in the 2010s and 2020s. That the fact that Mike Trout should have had like 7 or 8 MVPs, and then they just kept giving him like second place.
Yeah.
And legitimately, he just should have had 7 in a row. But now Otani's going to have like 15 in a row, which deservedly so. He is the best player on planet Earth.
Especially if he pitches a lot this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Dez, did you tell Josh but keep it off stream? I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
The last thing I want to look at before we jump into the Astros, I want to look at their win total.
Okay.
Team to record. I guess why is this so difficult? They're minus 180 to record 85 plus regular season wins. So that the book has them at 85. Is there like wins over here? Here we go.
Oh, I guess
just gotta scroll down to Houston.
Over under is like 86.5.
86.5 is the line.
Yeah.
For the Houston Astros.
It's a strong line.
It's strong. I just don't know.
The optimist in me would say easy over. But like I said last show, I feel like this team could win anywhere from 78 to 95, like depending on injuries, depending on how young guys perform.
From where to where?
78 to 95.
I just can't see him fall under the 81 threshold unless copious amounts of injuries have happened.
If they have injuries and like they're relying on a lot of unknowns. Mike Burrows is not good. You know, if Imai is not good.
If Mike Burrows isn't good.
Javier's not good.
If Mike Burrows isn't good, my house is gonna be repossessed.
I don't expect that to happen. I don't want that to happen. But there's a lot of unknowns that, like, if it doesn't go well, then I can see them dropping. Especially if they get to the trade deadline and are bad.
Such a shotgun spread. 78 to 95.
That's what I said. I think this is probably the widest range of possibilities in my mind.
I think it's greater than their win-loss totals in the 80s than seeing a 7 or 9.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the spread is like, you know, whatever that graphic's called. Bell curve, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it is a bell curve. That's great.
Yeah.
Proud of you. You've been reading.
I've been reading. Yeah, I've been listening to audio books.
It doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, I think most likely, I like that line. I think most likely they're somewhere between 85 and 88. And I hope it's on the higher end.
Yeah.
But I think this team, I have hoping that this team can have his best year ever, you know, hit 42 to 45 tanks, lead the team. You know, Walker can be good. Everybody can kind of do what they did last year, but improve a little bit. You have a full season of Jeremy Pena, you know, being an all-star. Amai, Burrows look great. Like, there's a world where this team wins in the low 90s and
okay,
you know, gets a 2 seed or something.
As optimistic as you are, and I think that's fine. Let's have a Switzerland moment. Okay. Chat involved as well. In years past, we've stated and we said things and we're like, oh, that probably was a recession indicator. But we're too caught up into it. We're too caught up in all of this. We a lot of name brand, a lot of they can do a lot of backward thinking. We're now thinking forward. This is our last year of baseball. This is the only thing we have. So chat, this is a Switzerland moment. You can get whatever take you want off.
Okay. No screenshots.
No screenshots. This is Switzerland. Recording. This is truly Switzerland.
No judgment.
There's no judgment. Are there recession indicators that we are not talking about, or you think is one, or you're scared to say it out loud going into the 26th season? where we're 7 months in, we're like, yeah, we should have thought that.
That's one of those things that's hard to know in the moment. But let me think.
Step out a little bit.
I will say before the
Did just say
show.
95 wins, recession indicator.
No, well, yeah. I mean, we used to be. We got like over 100 3 years in a row or something like that. 2 years in a row. Yeah,
I did throw the recession indicator card in your face.
Yeah,
because you.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we
robotically we're like, hey, this is before you start. Say it.
Well, I was just looking at tonight's matchup, and you think about Astros versus Sugarland. It's actually a decent matchup, probably the best. If you want to go to tonight's game, you're probably going to see the best matchup that we've had since we started doing these Astros versus Sugarland exhibition games.
Recession indicator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Recession indicator.
But the AAA roster looks pretty fun and good. And obviously so does the big league roster. That is a recession indicator for sure.
Jets is the first one to jump in the comments. It says, I'm worried Josh Hader's not ready. A Braves and extended in the 7th inning is a question.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Josh Hader. I'm worried. Like, I don't think Switzerland.
Yeah, this is I can't say it. Switzerland.
I don't think we see Josh Hader healthy all year.
What?
Not like all year. I just mean, I think it's one of those things that's a nagging thing where he finally joins the team maybe late April, pitches for a bit.
Even year Hader
and
though.
then like, Josh Hader is experiencing shoulder soreness again or whatever, and it's one of those up down things all year. That's my Switzerland, but okay. I think Abreu has an incredible season.
Okay,
but Jets is absolutely right. Before him, is Okert going to be the same? Benisusa would be trusting, but he's injured now. Is Brian King going to be the same? Who do we have? 6th, 7th, 8th, leading up to Abreu. I feel like I have so much faith in the pitching, coaching, and development that I just trust that they're going to figure it out. But on paper, I don't know, man. I don't know what our bullpen is.
Jim says his recession indicator is hiring a manager with no MLB experience, even when trying to compete. It's a very accurate statement. It's been talked about over the last few years. I think my recession indicator is Okay, hold on.
What are you thinking of that? Somebody on TikTok asked, who will be better, Amai or Burrows? That's a really good question.
Yes.
I think they're both going to be really good. I would probably put the money on Amai just on his pedigree and experience and what he's getting paid to come over here and do. But they both look incredible. You got yours?
Is there recession indicator? I think the young outfield.
Yeah, that's probably
it's a huge one. And I think I think the infield's old.
Yeah.
I think the infield's old.
My recession indicator is, who do we have on this team outside of like Jordan and like hitting wise? I feel like everybody is either in the 32 to 36-year-old range or the 22 to 25-year-old range. We don't have a whole lot of guys in their prime currently.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like this is something I would look back at later in the season and be like, oh, we have a bunch of old guys that are maybe struggling or getting injured. We have a bunch of young guys that are inexperienced. We don't really have. You have Jordan, and I think Yinder's 27.
I think he's 28.
28?
Yeah.
So those are the only two I can think of right now that are like guys that are in their prime age years. They have the experience, but they're not too old to be, hurt by being old. Yeah, I mean, I think we have on opening day. Are we going to have more people over the age of 30 or more under in the starting 9?
I don't know.
Walker over, Altuve over, Correa over, Paredes over
For what was it?
30.
He's
Paredes
28.
29,
He's 28.
28. Okay, Paredes. I always forget with Paredes because he feels old.
What do you mean by that?
He looks like an old man. Like
Pena's
his
young.
face. Pena's young.
Infield's young. I mean, the outfield's young. The outfield being so young, I told Josh this. I think I said it in the episode. Like, it's like getting a puppy for the old dog to keep the older dog like active and stuff.
Yeah.
It's very much what the outfield is. I think another recession indicator has been, and I think, yeah, I've been saying it for years, but Haley said it. The goal being to win the AL West instead of the World Series.
Yeah.
Very much has been a change of narrative that I don't like. That's always been a big one for me. I think the clearest one last year, no disrespect to Mauricio Dubon, was him being on the HEB commercials.
Yeah. that was the big one.
That was a big when the utility guys on the HEB commercials.
Yeah, when the utility guy with a 690 OPS is on the.
I think
HEB
baseball always
commercials.
finds its way in the sense of like I'm worried that like the Astros clearly have a superstar at shortstop. They have a superstar ace. They have a superstar DH.
Yeah.
And then a splatter of all-star. You have the ingredients of like old teams, like we in a sense, a lot of some other question marks, but you just have some superstars, you have all-stars, and then you have guys that just you hope play above their means in the biggest moments. And but when you get under the hood of it, you're like, oh man, this doesn't. The ingredients are all the same. It just doesn't. It doesn't taste like it did in 2022. Like
yeah.
There's that in the back of my head because I think this team is good. I think this team can compete at a very high level. Now, they need injury luck. They need to tighten some things up in season and things like that. But I don't know. Is my recession indicators just I'm afraid to kick the football and Lucille's gonna move it again? Like, is that just my recession indicator?
Well, let me give you a positive Switzerland take
Okay.
that nobody can take out of context, and especially on other teams, and clip me for. You know who this team reminds me of?
Who?
The 2013 Red Sox.
The World Series 2013.
World Series winning 2013 Red Sox.
You're very optimistic. You're very
Look, I'm just saying what it could be. What it could be. I'm not saying I would bet on it. But if you look at this team, that 2013 Red Sox, they had a couple old guys. They had Johnny Gomes, 32, Shane Victorino, 32. They had David Ortiz, his 37-year-old year. Mike Napoli, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
32
guys.
32 isn't old, but continue.
Well, just older.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Correa's 31.
Yeah.
They had 5 guys on their main roster over 30 going into that season.
What was that staff? Let's get under the hood.
The staff was also a little old, but they had some young guys. They had John Lester at 29. They had John Lackey at 34. They had Ryan Dempster at 36. Felix Dubront at 25. And Clay Buchholz at 28.
Okay.
They also had Jake Peavy at 32. I mean, that roster is not jumping off the page.
I mean, yeah, it's get hot, stay hot, and you win.
Yeah, but they also, I mean, just looking at the fact that they also had older guys, and they did what they needed to do to win the game. They won 97 in the regular season. They went on to win the entire thing. That's just a little positive spin on it.
Okay,
having multiple guys between 31 and 35 is not the end of the world. You just need them to perform.
I also think, I think one of the, I think looking back, that I think that the team last year one, obviously they lost on the tiebreaker or whatever. They were mathematically eliminated like 3 days before, and they need all the help. It took Cleveland being possessed. Like the American League is so top heavy. Even if you're in that middle pack, it's that one hot week or one cold week.
Yeah.
And I think once you position yourself in that, like, hey, this is what this is, perspective changes a bit. And last year, there was just Breggs walks. You trade Tuck, you sign Walker, you get Paredes. Cam Smith is this top 20 major league prospect in baseball. Insane spring. Are you going to pay Framber? You're not going to pay Framber. Everyone knows we're not paying Framber. Can Hunter Brown take that leap? And then you had this season of all the injuries. You have Altuve not playing at his best. Obviously, Jordan missing. I felt like last year, even with all that, I didn't think that team was that good. Like that quad A team that went on that long ass win streak and was winning games and set you up. Like I felt like that was more of a flash in the pan than the reality of everything else. I thought that did a lot of heavy lifting. Like going into this season, I don't feel that way. Like I feel like okay, that team was actually kind of really bad and was masked with, that really hot 6 weeks in the middle, that made everything else look kind of pretty. And as much oil you leak down the stretch, even with all that, I feel like it was something you could build off of going into this year. And I think you're there. Like I think like having Correa a full year and kind of rerouting and reorganizing everything on the back end. Altuve kind of switching his mechanics and swings up to so the highs are the valleys aren't as low and the highs aren't as high. It's going to be more steady Eddie, a healthy Jordan. There is a clear question at first base with Christian Walker. If he starts off slow and 6 weeks in, you're sitting there and he's got a sub 620 OPS. Yeah, that's a real question. But you could backfill with an all-star from last year and Isaac Perez that plays. A shortstop in Jeremy Pena that was on the cusp 24 hours out of signing a contract extension with the Houston Astros. That's now going to be worth $250 on the open market. That's a superstar in the making. Cam Smith makes the jump, or if he doesn't make the jump, question mark. Jake Myers is Jake Myers in center field, elite defense. The bat is the bat. The left field platoon, maybe we get there with math. We're going to science the shit out of it. Yiner's kind of flying under the radar. Does he take that step up? Does he mature as a big leaguer? Does he do the things that you need on the back end? Does he do the things that you need if he's a consistent bat in that lineup? This lineup's very, very deep. Even when he's hot and he's cold, it's still a deep lineup. But if he can, in the same vein of kind of Altuve last year, not have his valleys so low and his peaks so high, and there's more steady Eddie through the middle, this team gets, I mean, that's like 1.5 WAR in my eyes. You can get there because I think the pitching's good. And the Astros teams of past that are built on really good to above average pitching, they tend to go far. So I just think there's a lot more positives going into this year than there are negatives. And I think losing and kind of getting your ass kicked and your teeth kicked in down the stretch last year helped in a weird way. Granted, it's a different, some different players and some different parts of the machine, but sometimes you just get your ass beat and learn from it.
I agree with everything you said. Just to go back a little bit, the 2012 Red Sox, I didn't realize how bad they were.
Didn't John Farrell get fired?
No, he's the one who came in.
Was that Teddy's? Was that Francona's?
Bobby Valentine was the 2012 Red Sox manager.
Bobby Valentine was a 2012 Red Sox manager?
They went 69-93 in 2012 and then came back right back up. They went 2011, 90 wins. 2010, 89. They went 95, 89, 90, 69, 97, and won the World Series. So
I just want one more parade.
There's a lot of similarities the more I look at these two
One
teams,
more real parade, not this bullshit Seattle Mariners drive your AL West banner down Main Street, and whatever that was.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Another recession indicator. I don't mean to include you in this. But
wow, you don't mean, but you're gonna say it. All right, go ahead.
I'm just saying.
No, go
The
ahead.
fact that you were so excited, not excited, but that you were so positive on Taylor Jamel and like him being on the roster and everything.
That's fair. That's a fair recession.
That's a recession.
That's
indicator.
a recession indicator.
Like,
that's fair. That's fair.
That's not who we should be like. Oh, he looks pretty good.
That's fair. I did say fourth outfielder, but that is fair. I was
no, yeah. I
hyped.
wasn't saying you were saying a
Been
starter,
pretty hyped.
We were kind of hype about Taylor Jamel, and I'm like, I mean, I think I'm not to shit on him or anything. I think he's fine, but like, that's a recession indicator. But that just comes back to the young outfield and just the question marks.
Hey, also, we've been hard on Zach Cole because I think Zach Cole's gonna be a really good big leaguer. I think he's gonna be a really good big leaguer this year for the Houston Astros. The strikeouts have been the problem. We said that pre-spring training, through spring training now. I think strikeouts is a recession indicator problem. Bryce, who's had a hell of a camp, he may break camp, 817 OPS, 13 punchies. Jake Myers with a 388 OPS in spring training, 12 punchies. Isak Paredes, who never strikes out, 12 punchies.
Really? He punched out that many times?
Yeah.
I feel like he only played like 8 games.
Cam Smith, 818 OPS in big league camp, 12 punchies.
Strikeouts are a problem.
I don't know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. The big guy, 10 punchies.
Do you think
the Hall of Famer at second base, 14 punchies?
Do you think there's something with the new? Like, have you noticed anything
Christian
different
Walker,
with the hitting approach?
10. I don't think. I honestly think like.
You think they're working on something, or they're like a philosophy change on taking more pitches, and because they're taking more pitches, they're leading to strikeouts?
There looks like there's a clear philosophy change in kind of approach, but I do think a lot of these strikeouts, you can't see the ball in West Palm.
That's fair, especially when a noon game when it's that back is so bright.
And Jupiter isn't any like you have that double. You have the hit batter's eye, but then you have the double screens.
Yeah.
I just don't think South Florida's like a good hitting place. Like,
I mean, it's humid as fuck.
Like the ball jumps when the wind's blowing out for sure, and it's humid. But like, it felt like every other game that we did get to watch on Space City, like people were bundled up. It felt like the weather was just off the entire.
It was awful weather all spring. Yeah, it's different.
I'm curious to see. Let me see. It's hard. I mean, it's hard because the four teams in that pod, right? You have the Astros and Nationals at Travis Scott Ballpark, Cacti, Palm Beach Energy Drink, Seltzer.
Nailed it.
And then you have at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, you have Miami and the Cardinals. I bet the strikeouts are high for all four. So let me look at.
That'd be interesting. I think I had the stats up.
I got Miami's right here.
I'm just going to search by
Miami 15, 13, 12, 11, 11, 10, 10, 9, 9. Let's go to. And granted, all four teams are not in the same, the Marlins are at a different point in their area, and the Nationals are compared to where the Astros are.
Zach Cole, I didn't realize, was second in all of baseball with the 20 Ks. He was up there.
If you've been, I mean, anyone in chat gone to games in West Palm?
James Wood also struck out 17 times.
I have the national stats right here.
It's pretty spread out individually, at least.
Hey, Dylan Cruz not making the team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, it's not.
Well, I would never have thought that last year. I get why they made that decision.
18, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 11, 11, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9. for the Nationals, and I'll just check out those St. Louis Cardinals real quick. I think there's something here. It was because those 4 teams play each other a ton.
Trying to find the full team stats.
Stats.
Yeah, I can't find it.
That's crazy. The Cardinals don't have their stats on.
Myers should platoon center field with Loperfido.
That's crazy. Cardinals don't have their stats listed on MLB.com. What do you mean by that?
Wait, what?
What do you mean by that? It just goes to team stats, not individual stats on their page. So I don't know. I think they would ever go to Arizona.
I found it on.
I doubt
Jordan
it. Jordan
Walker 16, 12, 12, 10, 10, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7. Cardinals weren't as bad.
We still in the Alps? No, Switzerland. Switzerland is the Switzerland segment.
We've left Switzerland.
We're in the air.
Anything you say can be used against you.
You have the right. That's what I saw the other day. 21 Jump Street again. Great movie.
Yeah,
this is such a great movie.
Rewatch it soon.
Ugh, great comedy.
Where do you see blue ball falling? Rotation or long relief?
Man, that's an interesting one.
I think this year long relief, just because the rotation is so deep currently. I mean, right now you have a strong 6-man, and then even after that, you have Colton Gordon and you have Jason Alexander, guys that might get the pill before AJ. I don't know. So I think for consistency, he's either in AAA getting starts, or he's in the bullpen throwing basically the equivalent of a start a week, probably 6 innings.
We got a lot
a week.
We got a lot of duct tape guys. We got a lot of guys can plug a hole and stop the bleeding and fix some things. I don't know how many building blocks we got. That's the problem. We got a lot of duct tape, but I don't know. I like blue ball in the Brad Peacock role, and I think I'm just gonna go down with that take. Down with the ship with that take. I think he could be a very, very good starter.
I mean,
like he was great when he got extended.
Yeah.
I just think his value for this team in a championship run is, to like 6 innings a week, and I think that's better spread out over 3 games
than one. Yeah.
I think there's a ton of value there.
Fully agree with that. Unless Javier and Lance and Weiss just aren't good at all. Like if you're sitting in mid to late June and Javier is worst case what we've been worried about. And
we're
Lance
past the recession
is just eating innings at that point.
We're on the bottom crawler where it's like Lehman Brothers of.
I mean, there's a world where AJ they
you
finally
like that pool.
Yeah,
that's a good American history right there.
That is deep. That's a deep cut. The
buy in, Ron.
I can see a world where they're like, all right, let's give AJ a shot. Every 6th day or whatever.
Do we think we'll see at any point? Do we see the piggyback situation? Do we see that pre All-Star break or after All-Star break?
I think it'd have to be. I think you'd have to be. Either way, Hader would have to be
Alexander,
back because you have to have a really strong 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
To trust that you can burn a bullpen arm on a piggyback.
Yeah.
I think if they can, that you're in a great position. I think you have multiple really good options to do that.
I think this team can make a really deep playoff run if they go piggyback.
I think they could win 97 games, 95 games. I think they're the 2013 Red Sox. Or at least that's what I said when I was in Switzerland. I don't know if I agree with that now.
Also, gonna probably be an insane week. You have the Texas Children's Houston Open this weekend at Memorial. You have opening week and opening day. You have the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 where Houston's headlining. Houston has Iowa. No. Nebraska and Iowa are playing. There's 3 Midwest teams come. 3
Houston team or Houston
UH
Stadium?
Cougars play.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that Houston has. I didn't know who is Houston playing or who's playing in Houston.
Houston has a Sweet 16 and the potential Elite Eight matchup in Houston this weekend in the South region.
But is Houston playing in it?
Houston is playing in Houston in the Sweet 16, and then potentially they win the Elite Eight.
Who are they playing?
So it's one of the someone in chat. It's 3 Big Ten teams. Illinois, Illinois. There it is. And then
Houston
Nebraska
versus Illinois. That's
and then Nebraska and Iowa are playing, and the winner of those play for go to the Final Four.
Cornhuskers.
So there's just a lot going on, and I think I drove by. I think downtown there's going to be like a thing as well.
Like an arts?
Like a freedom. I think it was a freedom festival.
Oh,
something Houston something festival. There's a festival going on down. I saw them preparing. So huge week. I'm pumped. Baseball's back. Just because I don't know if we're getting baseball again. Like in 27, like this could potentially be our last.
I mean, this is the last
opening
great hurrah.
week.
This is like the Roaring 20s before the Great Depression,
Yeah, and call me Jay Gatsby because I'm gonna get shot because I ain't going through that. I like, not to be morbid. This could be the last opening week preparation till 2028.
I think there's a very strong chance that's correct. Because even if we get baseball in 27, I don't think it's going to be.
I mean, the Dodgers are screaming for a 60 game Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I don't think we get baseball in under May 20th.
Ooh, over.
Yeah, I think I did this once and I said June something, and I think that was probably a better line.
I have something here. I have a theory. So someone earlier, Shark had mentioned that the recession indicator costs MLB's the Braves. I agree. The Braves are extremely overrated. I don't understand how they're like the second best odds behind the Dodgers, especially with all these injuries. I think today they said Strider's out with the oblique for like a while.
Schwellenbach's out. Like
they have a lot of people. They have like 6 people out.
They have a great depth chart. They just can't. None of them can stay healthy. They're relying on Ronald Acuna's health, and you never know where that's going to go.
And I think Ronald's actually. I think someone in the comments said if he's an underrated superstar. Yes.
Yeah.
Completely underrated superstar.
Well, he's been quiet a couple years.
Yeah. From the injuries, I think he's so good. I do think there's a thing. Stay with me.
All right. If
you beat the Astros or play the Astros over this golden age, I feel like you have to, and especially if you beat them, you have to give them a gift. You have to do something, right? So the Astros had beaten the Dodgers in 17, but they had given us Yordan, so they're immune. 2018, Red Sox beat the Astros. They've been done nothing since. The next closest thing was 21, and we beat them, right?
Yep.
So they've been in an abyss. 2019, the Nationals beat the Astros, right? Nothing since then. 2020, the Rays beat the Astros. Nothing since then. 2021, the Braves beat the Astros. Nothing but then. 22, the Astros win. Phillies, they'll probably get rewarded with a division. We'll give you a reward or something like that. 23, the Rangers beat the Astros. Nothing since then.
Nope.
24, the Tigers beat the Astros. They're about to lose Screwball. Nothing since then.
Yeah, this is their year right here.
Yeah, but history says if you don't give us something, you're going to be cursed.
Yeah. Maybe they should trade us.
25, the Mariners beat the Astros, essentially, I guess. Their whole team is fighting already before the first pitch of
it's like a.
So if you don't give something to the Astros, if you don't like, now the Dodgers have been immune. They gave us Yordan Alvarez. That's where they're making a run still.
Mm-hmm.
So all these other teams, we'll take your best player. We'll take Ronald Acuna Jr. and then the curse will be lifted. Braves.
Nationals trade us James Wood. and then you can.
Yeah, we'll
Go on
take
your
Dylan
run.
Cruz as well in there. Just hey, I mean, as an add-on.
As an add-on.
As an add-on.
As an add-on.
I'll
take that.
I don't really want anything from the Rangers. Keep
No,
it north
I
of
don't.
keep it north of the Red River. I guess if you want to give me Randy Rosarena or Julio Rodriguez or Kyle Raleigh, I guess I'll take that. Mariners. So
Yeah,
literally, yeah, Scooble, yeah.
I'll take Brian
So,
Wu.
I'll take Wu. I'll take Gilbert. I'll take all those arms.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a theory I've been working on.
Yeah.
It's like we're a virus.
I was trying to think of who. I mean, Yankees 20. Well, we beat them. Royals after 2015, even.
Nothing.
Trying to think of who. I don't really know who knocked us out in 2016. We were
Ourselves.
Yeah, we were just bad. Just bad. It wasn't really a specific. I mean, we missed the playoffs, but like 4 games, 5 games. It was not good. Astros are Dormammu. That's funny. That's a really good breakdown. Yeah.
I guess the Braves technically gave us Dana Brown.
Technically.
But you should throw Ronald Acuna Jr. in there just in case to be safe. We'll take him off your hands.
Absolutely. Take Baldwin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of arms in that rotation I would take as well, if they're healthy. But all right. Last 2 minutes.
So
Big week this week. We're recording a lot tomorrow. Preseason prediction, roster prediction stuff.
Wednesday live, we'll be doing predictions with y'all. MVP, Cy Young, or team MVP, team Cy Young, record. Iguodala. Hot take of the year and cold take of the year. We'll introduce that. So that'll be interactive on Wednesday. Obviously, like Josh said, we'll be doing our pre-recorded episodes, player positions that are be going out on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. And then Wednesday live, Thursday opening day, Friday live. And then we're off till November.
Yep.
Y'all. We did it. We survived. We survived the longest winter we've known.
It was a long winter.
It was the longest winter.
It went a little faster with the WBC. That helped.
Yeah, it was. I think they've said the history of Earth, there's been 4 ice ages. I argue there was 5, and we just survived the 5th one. An extinction event, we survived.
It was even cold last week. It has never been that cold.
It was a blizzard out.
Yeah, it's actually really nice today.
Like hot as crap now.
Yeah.
We survived an extinction event.
Yep. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, all that. Stay tuned to our socials. We potentially have a big announcement of something new coming, and all these predictions we're dropping the next few days. Like, subscribe, pay attention to all that, and we'll see you next time. We'll watch a lot of ball this week. A lot of ball to talk about. I survived we need a shirt. I survived the 2025-26 MLB offseason.
Extinction event. Shout out to Revelers Barbershop. Get your cut. Go follow them on Instagram so I get that tattoo.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond That Podcast. We will see you next time.
Peace.